Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts is home to 11 unique roller coasters, and today I will be ranking them based on my experiences on these rides. Starting off with number 11, we have Great Chase, the E&F Miller Kiddie Coaster that opened in 1996. This small coaster features 3 small airtime hills, 1 slightly banked helix, and a quick snap back into the brake run. I've not gotten very much airtime on this coaster, but the final snap definitely delivers some good laterals. Definitely not a bad coaster, but definitely my least favorite in the park. Next, we have Gotham City Gauntlet, which, unlike the Great Chase, is an actual unpleasant experience. This Maurer Wild Mouse opened in 2000 as Roadrunner Express at Kentucky Kingdom. It was then relocated to Six Flags New England in 2011. This coaster features the classic Wild Mouse layout, and let me tell you, this coaster makes you feel like you're going to fall out of the car for almost the entire time. Despite this, it still offers some nice drops and some unpleasantly intense laterals. Next on my list is Catwoman's Whip, the Zero Kiddie coaster that opened in 2000. This coaster is very smooth and actually pretty enjoyable, the only issue being the extremely long trains. If you're in the front row of this coaster, you will be at the bottom of the first drop when you finally pick up speed. With that in mind, this coaster features a few airtime hills, but mostly focuses on banked turns. The smoothness of this ride is what places it above the janky and uncomfortable Gotham City. In 8th place, we have Thunderbolt, my first real roller coaster. This classic wooden coaster has been operating at Six Flags New England since 1941. Thunderbolt is a fun ride, filled with drops and turnarounds. While these turns look slow, they definitely have some speed to them. This coaster is 70 feet tall and offers plenty of nice airtime moments. I personally prefer this coaster in the front row due to the roughness in the back. The next coaster on my list is Flashback, the park's orange and red Vekoma Boomerang. This coaster features the classic Vekoma Boomerang layout. First, you are pulled up a 116-foot tall lift hill backwards. Then you're dropped down the lift hill back into the station. Next, there's a Cobra roll followed by a vertical loop. You are then pulled up a second lift hill of similar size and dropped backwards through this layout. Most people dislike this coaster because of the headbanging you receive when going backwards, but I didn't mind it that much when I rode it. The drops are surprisingly tame and the rest of the coaster is a blur. I personally would recommend riding this in the front row so you can get the most out of that backwards drop. The number 6 spot on my list goes to Pandemonium. This Gerstlauer spinner opened in 2005 and is an awesome family coaster. The G-forces you get when you spin through those helixes are more than you can get from any other family coaster in the park. I personally enjoy this ride more facing backwards, but others may think differently. Also, this tends to have the longest line of any ride in the park, so unless you're using the Flash Pass, I recommend jumping on this thing just after opening or much later in the day. Now that we are going into the true thrill sections of the list, I have a few things to say. First, this is a brand new channel and I have a ridiculous knowledge of roller coasters and theme parks, so let me know in the comments what videos you want me to make next. I can 100% confirm that your comment will be read and replied to. Second, I'm going to do the generic thing that all YouTubers do and ask you to subscribe. Anyways, back to the video. Taking my 5th place spot is Batman the Dark Knight. This B&M floorless coaster opened in 2002. Due to the pre-drop and quick transition into the drop, you feel like you're falling to the side as the intense G's push down on you after the laterals. With a height of 117 feet and a speed of 55 miles per hour, this coaster gracefully moves through its 5-inversion layout. This coaster is best in the front row due to the visuals of the first vertical loop. Batman also has one of the quickest moving lines in the park due to the ridiculously high capacity of the 2 trains which seat 28 people each. Now my 4th favorite coaster at Six Flags New England is a very controversial one. This is Riddler's Revenge, the best Vekoma SLC I've ridden. Vekoma SLCs are known for their uncomfortable ride experiences, with bulky over-the-shoulder restraints that increase and cause headbanging throughout the ride. On the Riddler, however, these are really comfortable vest restraints that eliminate most headbanging. Because of this, it's possible to actually enjoy the intense turnarounds, quick inversions, and fantastic near misses. My best tip for riding this is to simply try to hold your head back the entire time. My 3rd favorite coaster at Six Flags New England is Joker, the 2017 SNS 4D free spin coaster. This coaster looks insane and lives up to that expectation. There are 4 positions you can ride in: front riverside, back riverside, front parkside, back parkside. Having ridden in all of these seats, my personal favorite is the front Parkside seat. There's a moment when you are flipped forward and violently whipped all the way back until you're upside down and dropping. The small airtime hills on this coaster do not affect the ride experience. You can't feel them through the constant flipping and flopping. The tamest place to ride Joker is in the back Riverside seat. While you are flipped upside down a few times, you never complete a full roll, and for the most part, you feel weirdly in control. This coaster is absolutely phenomenal. The second best coaster at Six Flags New England is what appears at first glance to be the star attraction. This is Superman the Ride. This hypercoaster, built by Intamin in 2000, won 5 Golden Ticket Awards as the best steel coaster in the world. Most coaster enthusiasts complain about the thick and heavy lap bar restraints on this coaster, and I'm no different. These lap bars really dull all airtime on the coaster. On the bright side, these restraints are snug and comfortable, perfect for a first-time rider who's a little nervous. This coaster features one of the best coaster layouts, starting off with a classic out and back, but then into a spaghetti bowl section, filled with intense helixes and by far the best airtime moment on the ride. This coaster is like candy to me. Pure fun the entire way through. Most people say the first drop is the scariest part of the ride, but honestly, it's not that bad, unless you're riding in the back row, in which case the whip over that first drop turns this coaster into an entirely different experience. Because of that, I cannot recommend riding in the back row enough. Really, it adds so much to the ride experience. Alright, I'm going to put this as straightforward as possible. Wicked Cyclone is the best coaster at Six Flags New England. Through relentless pacing and an amazing 120-degree zero-G stall, this coaster isn't good, it's incredible. The first bank turn always has me graying out, and all 3 zero-G inversions have me screaming with joy. The first drop drags you down the hill with such relentlessness, it feels like you're falling faster than gravity. This coaster is an amazing RMC hybrid conversion of the Riverside Cyclone, built in 1983. Now, as Wicked Cyclone, it has a 109-foot 78-degree drop and runs at a top speed of 55 miles per hour. This coaster is best in the back row. The whip over the first drop is insane and definitely worth experiencing. My only problem with this fantastic coaster is the seatbelt and lap bar restraints. I know this is the standard RMC restraints, but the seatbelt and lap bar makes operations a nightmare. While the line is usually pretty short due to Superman drawing most of the attention, I've only ever seen this coaster running with one train. Maybe on busier days it runs with more, but from my personal experience, I recommend riding early or late in the day. Anyways, now that you know the best coasters at Six Flags New England, this is the typical conclusion to a YouTube video. Once again, make sure to comment what you want to see in the future. Bye!